Good evening, everybody. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back here today for Tuesday night's What's New. The album I've chosen tonight is an album from a band I did last week, and this is the album they put out this month. So they've put out two albums in the last little bit, and this is the second one, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and the album is called The Silver Chord, and released October the 27th, 2023. It's got basically three lengths, so there's three versions of this. There's the digital version, which is 28 minutes long, the vinyl version, which is 40 minutes long, and the extended version, which is 88 minutes long. So what I tried to do was, I'll get to that in a second. So this is on the KGLW label, produced by Stuart McKenzie, who is one of the members of the band. So there are 6 members of this band: Embryos Kenny Smith, vocals, synthesizers, and mellotron; Michael Kavanagh, electronic drum; Cook Craig, synthesizers, guitar synthesizers, effects, which are basically more synthesizers; Joey Walker on vocals, sequencer, drum machine, and he also does quite a bit of other synthesizer effects as well. Lucas Harwood, he's only on synthesizers, and then Stuart McKenzie on vocals, synthesizers, guitar synthesizers, mellotron, drum machine, piano effects. So for those of you who haven't figured it out yet, this is a very symphonic type of album, lots of synths, very electronically pop album. Completely different from the one that I did last week, which was kind of a death metal album in some ways, with a lot of the death metal elements and heavy metal elements. This album is much more poppy, a lot more poppy, and a lot more synthesizer effects. In fact, I don't believe there's any bass or guitars on this at all. It's basically all synthesizers and keyboard and some guitar effects that fed through the synthesizers. Symphonic drum or electronic drum. I do believe there is some mellotron on here as well, and some, of course, piano effects, which are all done by McKenzie. So I listened to the album last night, made my notes, and I'm here to present it today. So this album has basically 7 tracks, and with the addition also, for the extended version, there is an additional 3 tracks, which are basically extended versions of some of these songs. Basically, that's what it is. And some of them are like 20 minutes extensions. They go from 3 minutes to 20 minutes. So it's like 3 of them like that. But I did include one extension just to review it and give you an idea of what you can expect if you decide to go the extension route. So, let's get to it, shall we? I'm just going to talk about the tracks individually, what I hear, what I like, what I don't like, that kind of thing, just to give you a kind of an appeal. I don't really consider these reviews. I know some people think of it as a review. I don't really think of it as a review. I'm just talking about what I like and what I don't like. You can take that as a review if you want, but it's not really the way I'm thinking about it. So, anyways, we got the first song is called Thea, or Thea. I think it's Thea, pronounced Thea. Anyways, it's about 3-4 minutes in length. It's like all the tracks on this, very Try that again. Very synthesizer dominated. Like all the tracks are dominated by synthesizer and synthesizer effects. It's kind of spacey. It's got a bit of a spacey sound, this one. And then they have these vocals that are almost synthesizer fed too. But the vocals are multi-layered. So you've got them all saying the song Thea and talking. And one guy's singing the kind of chorus part, but others are all saying Thea as well. I guess it's an attempt to try and capture a spacey view to the song. The other thing about it too is that Excuse me. It's quite catchy, actually. I like this song quite a bit. It's one of my favorites on the album. The next one out was Thea Silver Chord Set. So this is one of the extensions. So I did this one just to see what the difference was between Thea without the extensions and Thea with the extensions. So it has some kind of spacey robotic additions to the sound. So they've added a little bit more of that spacey sound to it. There is some bass in this, though. It's a backing support, but it's very, very kind of back-endish, so it's not really forward. It's not up front, I guess is the best way to put it. A lot of electronic feed vocals. You get this kind of, towards the end of this particular track, it's kind of an interesting part. So you have a multiple layer of vocals going on here, and then it starts to speed up and almost get like an electronic funk beat going. So it's almost like a dance song. Starts turning into this funky dance song, and then all of a sudden they start rapping, and it speeds up, and you get this kind of a rap going on. It's kind of different. It's not the kind of rap that you find annoying because you can't understand what they're saying, and when you do finally understand what they're saying, you wish you didn't understand what they were saying. No, it's not like that. It's just kind of an electronic rap session. I'm not really sure how else to put it. The next song, which is called Set, so that track is about 12 minutes long. So you got Thea, the open, then Thea, silver chord, Set. The next song is called Set, which is very similar to the extended version that we just talked about, but only they've cut out that front part, and you're just getting the funky upbeat electronic beat with that rap part, and it's a little more dominating in this song than it was in that one. Didn't care for that as much as the whole lengthy extension part. The next one is called Changey. I think that's how they pronounce it. It's CHANG hyphen with an E at the end. It's very spacey, more electronic vocal voices. Just a absolute ton of synthesizers on this particular track, but it's got a very catchy beat. I did like this song. I didn't mind it at all. The next one's called Gilgamesh, which, for those of you who study history, I believe is a Japanese character. Okay, so Gilgamesh is the name of this song. A very electronic version, fast-paced electronic sound, lots of different kind of vocal parts blended together. You got the lead vocal is a bit distorted, so it's got so much synthesizers overdubbing it, it kind of distorts it a bit. And then there's a kind of a keyboard part that's got a little bit of a solo to it, which I think is the only track like that. I don't recall any other track, and I made no other notes about it, but that's it. So then there's the last two tracks on this are Swan Song. This one's more of a deeper and heavier sound to it. It's also a lot of electronics and vocal parts that are electronic as well, but it's kind of a deeper sound to the song. Is kind of a bit heavier, and then you've got this kind of heavy beat with a more electronic sound towards the end. And last but not least is the last song, Extinction, which is a multi-vocal, multi-voice song. Well, everybody's doing something in this vocally. Very catchy beat and very heavy synthesizers. So if you hadn't figured it out yet, it's a very heavily synthesizer dominated album. Everybody's playing synthesizers. A lot of them are doing, I'm guessing, doing their own vocal synthesizer parts. But it actually has a really catchy beat to it. I actually like this. I think I like this one a little more than the last one, even though the last one had some real heavy guitar parts on it, which were really cool. I just think that this one is just more up my alley. It kind of gives a bit more of a spacey feel to it, and a little bit more of a prog feel to it than that album did. And I think they tried to time these to be opposite ends of the spectrum. And these guys are all quite talented individuals. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. The back to the part where I was talking about the length of the songs, because I said I would get back to it. So I'm just going to get back to it now. So there are three, and I don't know if I told you this, but 28-minute is the digital version, 40 minutes is the vinyl version, and then 88 for the extensions. So I tried to do the digital version with one of the extensions to try to give you an idea. So the other extensions are basically more of the same type of add-on and funny things that they wanted to put into the music for those individual songs. And I think there's 3 more extensions. So yeah, this band has no short of hard work ethics and completing albums. One year, they two times in their history, they've been around since 2012. So in their 11-year history, they have twice done 5 albums in a year. Yeah, get it. It's a lot of work, but they seem to enjoy doing it. And if you check out their albums, they're all multi-layered. There's all kinds of, one album may be entirely pop electronic like this one. I think they had one other one like this as well. And then the last one was it kind of a heavy metal, speed metal, death metal kind of conglomeration, and they had 2 like that, one from further before, and then they've got some psychedelic ones and some progressive ones. Yeah, so they like to try the challenge, and I quite like them. I think they're a really good group. I recommend this one more than I did the last one, but they're both pretty good albums. If you like that death metal stuff, that last one is good. If you like synth pop, and I do, there's some bands I like Ladytron. I like them quite a bit, so this is up that alley. Another band that kind of comes to mind is Tangerine Dream, more electronic. Kraftwerk's another one like that. So there's a few bands like that fit into this, and I enjoy them when I'm just lying there and just want to hear stuff and don't really want to think too much. So yeah, great album. I highly recommend you listen to it at least. It's called The Silver Chord, from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button and the subscribe button next to it. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of more stuff coming out. And make any comments you have to make below. I do have one apology to make for, though. When I was recording the 2 videos for my monthly series that I'm running, for some reason I put the number 10 one in after the number 11. So when I recorded the 2 at the same time, and then I got the dates backwards, so that the one that was supposed to come out on Monday, I think it was Monday. Yeah, the one that was supposed to come out on Monday came out today, and the one that was supposed to come out today came out on Monday, so they were flipped around. And consequently, I also, because I was doing Monday night's look back at a classic rock album, I forgot to change the date back. So it was usually when you're making these things, it gives you the date for the next day, and you have to put it back if you want it to be released on that day and schedule it for later. But I didn't do that, and that's why it didn't come out until I checked this morning, and it wasn't out. So I checked immediately, and that's what it was. So I put that out for immediately. It came out about 8:15 this morning. So I do apologize for my own technical screw-ups, but excuse me, at least the videos are all out there. I am happy to do these things. I hope you enjoyed this one. So we will see you next Tuesday with another episode of What's New. And at the end of the year, this is going to change around, as I've already stated in this week's episode. Some of these shows are going to change from different slots, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work yet, but eventually we'll get to that. So we will see you then. Have yourself a good evening and take care. Bye.